Hey guys, welcome to my new YouTube channel. If you're from my booktube channel, welcome. I'm glad you made it over here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jennifer and I go by Jen or Jennifer, whichever. I'm not too particular about that. But I decided to branch off from my booktube channel known as Wonderland Books in order to focus on my pregnancy and give you guys updates and let you know what's going on with me. So for this first video, I think what I want to focus on mostly is when I found out that I was pregnant and things like that. So I'm currently 30 years old, for those of you that don't know this already, and I found out that I was pregnant on August 7th. I'm about 7 weeks, 5 days, so almost 8 weeks now. I've been married for 10 years in September, and this has been a long time coming for my husband and I. So I just wanted to share our journey with you guys, and I hope that you enjoy it. So let's dive into how I found out that I was pregnant and kind of a little bit of what happened after that. So on August 7th, I just kind of had a feeling that I needed to test. I don't know why. Like, I've been actively monitoring like my cycle and things like that because we've been trying to get pregnant for quite some time. So that day around lunchtime, I decided that when I came home for lunch from work, I was going to test. So I came home and I did a real cheapo pregnancy test, and initially it came back negative. Now, I didn't wait the full 5 minutes or however long you're supposed to wait for it to finish its stuff. So I automatically was disappointed and I threw the test in the trash. But as I was walking away from it, I had this gut feeling and this thing in the back of my head that was just telling me that I needed to get it out of the trash and I needed to look at it again. So I went back, pulled it out of the trash and looked at it and saw a very, very faint second red line. And I have never had a false positive, not even a positive. So this was very new to me, and I was like, there's no way that this is not accurate because I've never seen this before ever. So then I decided I'm gonna leave work about 30 minutes early, go to the store and get a first response pregnancy test and a digital pregnancy test. And at this time I was about 95% sure I was pregnant. So I left work, went to the store and got those things. Also picked up some little onesies, little baby onesies, and came home and took both tests, and both tests came out positive. So my husband was getting home from work not too long after that, but right away I called my doctor and I scheduled an appointment because I wanted to get in as soon as possible to see how far along I was and stuff like that. So I went ahead and called the doctor, scheduled an appointment for I think Wednesday, which was like 2 days after I found out. My husband came home, I had like the pregnancy test and the onesies sitting out on the counter, and he was very happy. We're both incredibly happy. And we are so happy, in fact, that we decided to tell family members that same day because we couldn't wait to tell them. So we told all of our family, and then we kind of held off on the social media stuff for a little bit because, you know, we figured it was a little too early. So I went and had my first doctor's appointment that Wednesday, and they didn't really do anything. I was under the impression that they were gonna do a blood sample or blood test, and they didn't. They only did a urine test and it came back positive. I had to meet with their financial advisor, go over, you know, insurance and stuff like that. And then after that I had to meet with a nurse and go over my history and stuff that dealt with my family and if stuff ran in my family and stuff like that. And then from there we made the actual first prenatal appointment, and I went in for that on, I think it was the next week. I'm not quite sure which day, but I went in for the next one and my husband went with me. And when we went, this time they had to do a urine sample, which I found out they do every time you go, just about. And then they had to do a pap smear, a breast exam, an EKG, blood draw for a bunch of different stuff, and they also did a 1-hour glucose test. So I had the pap smear done, I had the breast exam done, and my husband didn't go back there for those, so my OB was like, she's like, okay, I have this little small digital ultrasound thing that I can use and just to see if everything looks okay, and then we can order the bigger ultrasound. And I was like, okay. She pulls out this little bitty tiny thing, it kind of looks like an old cell phone, and she runs it over my stomach and she was like, I think I see 2 sacs in there. And immediately I was like, are you serious? Like, what? And she's like, yeah, I think I do, but let's do the vaginal ultrasound and make sure. So I told her, I said, you know, I want my husband to be back there for that. And she said that was fine. They'd give me my little drink to have for my glucose test, and then I could wait for a little bit and then do my ultrasound and then get my blood drawn for the glucose test. So I had my drink, which was very sugary and very disgusting, and then went back out to the waiting room. So they called me back for the ultrasound, and I went back, you know, got settled, and I told the ultrasound tech, I was like, the doctor said that there might be 2 sacs, and she was like, well, that's because there is. And there were 2 little babies in there, and I will show you guys a little ultrasound pic. I believe that they are fraternal. So here's 2 babies. And my husband was ecstatic. We were both super excited. He was just squeezing my hand, and we were very happy. And after we left from that, I had to wait a little bit longer, and then we did the glucose test and whatever other blood work they had to have for tests and stuff. So that was pretty much it for my first 2 appointments, and it was a whirlwind. Like, we were not expecting to be pregnant, for one, or to be pregnant with 2 babies. Like, that's a lot to take in at one time. So as soon as we left the doctor's office, I immediately started calling my mom and my dad and family and just letting them know there's 2, not just 1. So I really think that this is going to be an interesting journey for me. I plan on doing like maybe weekly or bi-weekly updates on how I'm doing. My camera cut off. So I'll probably do bi-weekly updates or something like that, just to keep you guys posted. Right now I don't really have a baby bump or anything. I'm just like kind of bloated, and I've had a couple of unusual cravings, but other than that I feel okay. I'm tired, but I'm not nauseous or anything like that. Like I said, I'll give you guys some updates on how things are going as I progress throughout my pregnancy. So if that's something that you would be interested in watching, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a big thumbs up. So that is going to be it for my first video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming by to check it out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!